Guys, good afternoon to all of you. Now, for us, today's topic in operating system, that is memory management. Okay. After the completion of the topics related to operating system, that is process and threads, CPU and IO scheduling, all these things. The next concept is the memory management. The topics related to the memory management are here. What do you mean by the word? How to manage that memory? What do you mean by the word memory concepts? What do you mean by the word swapping? What is virtual memory? And page replacement algorithms. What are the different types of page replacement algorithms? And what are the design issues, implementation issues, and segmentation? These are the topics related to our memory management topic. Okay. Here, memory management is that it's how to what type of memory we have to manage, what type of memory we should consist of in our system, how much memory we require for our applications, among the different tasks and among the different applications, how to manage. That means OS will going to allocate the memory for our applications to store. Okay. How much memory we require, where the type of location we have to place. So all these things are completely comes under our memory management. Ideally, the programmers want to know the concepts related to that memory, that is a fast memory, and a large amount of memory we must be in a position to select, and that memory must be non-volatile. These are the three different types of characteristics it has to maintain in our systems. That's as far as the memory is concerned. Memory should be large. That means a more amount of memory the system should consist of, and memory must be fast, and it must be non-volatile. And memory hierarchy is nothing but the concept of a small amount of fast, expensive memory. That's a cache memory. First one is a cache memory, and second one some medium speed and medium price of main memory, and next gigabytes of slow and cheap disk storage. Here the cache memory is a more faster, and main memory is slower than cache memory, whereas disk are the what we can call secondary storage devices. Disk are completely the magnetic tapes like this. Secondary storage devices are more slower than main memory. Here the memory hierarchy, first higher memory is not the higher memory, that's a small amount of memory itself, but it's a fast and more expensive. That's a cache memory. Okay. Moreover, than the cache memory, the low performance, when compared with the cache memory, the low performance is main memory. When compared with the main memory, low performance is disk storage. The disk storage is nothing but the concept of your hard disk or the secondary storage devices or the magnetic tapes. These are. Okay. Next, memory manager handles the memory hierarchy. Here to handle all the concepts of memory, the memory manager is the person that he will going to handle all the concepts of memory, what type of memory for the applications they should assign, whether it may be the fast memory, or it may be the slow memory, or it may be the very slow memory, what type of memory that can be allocated to our systems or for our applications. Okay, that memory hierarchy can be handled by one person or the one resource person. That resource person can be named as memory manager. Okay. This one is the concept of just what do you mean by the word memory, what are the different characteristics it should consist of, what's the memory hierarchy. Next, in the case of basic memory management, mono programming without swapping or paging. Here, what do you mean by the word swapping concept? Here it is a swapping is the memory management technique in which the OS will going to provide extra memory. OS will going to provide extra memory or the more memory for our current running applications. Suppose for our I am running an application in the system. For my application at the time of running, that existing memory is not sufficient. Let us consider existing memory is not sufficient. I require more memory. So at that time, for my application to run, the OS will going to provide the extra memory. That extra memory can be known as a swapping. OS will going to provide the concept of providing the extra memory which is required for our running application can be known as a swapping. Whereas in the case of paging means, here it is a Paging is the management scheme by which the computer stores or retrieves the complete data from the secondary storage devices. Paging is also related to the concept of memory management technique itself. Here, that paging technique will going to provide the concept of accepting the data from our secondary storage devices. Okay, that type of concept comes under our paging. Extra memory concept to be provided comes under swapping, whereas in the case of paging means the concept of accessing the data from the hard disk. That's the concept of paging. For the current running applications, whatever the data we require, so that type of accessing data comes under paging. Here, without swapping or paging, a simple concept. Here the simple ways for organizing the memory and operating system with the one user process without the concept of swapping as well as paging. Here the swapping as well as paging concept, swapping or paging concept will going to occur for the multi-user process. Here this basic memory management concept here in this one. First, user program is existing. Next, within this user program, the complete read-only memory refers to the concept of our secondary memory only, or the disk management or the disk memory. Whereas each and every disk is having their own device drivers. Here the concept of both A, B, C. These will going to read the concept of these diagrams will going to describe the concept of operating system with one user process only. Only one user is existing, and that user will going to access the complete concept of data from the read-only memory or the hard disk. Okay. From the secondary memory concept, from the secondary memory, the user wants to access the complete data or the files that will comes under our paging only. Here, as far as this complete OS is concerned, it consists of only one user, not the multi-user. It's a single user. Here in this one, multi-programming with fixed partitions. Whereas in the case of previous slide, that's completely related to the concept of a single user. Whereas here in the case of multi-programming concepts. Here in this multi-programming, partition 1, partition 2, 3, 4. This is the complete memory concept. Memory is completely partitioned into 4 parts, 4 partitions. Partition 1 consists of 100 kilobytes. Partition 2 consists of 200 to 400. That means 200 kilobytes. Partition 3, 300 kilobytes. Partition 4 again 100 kilobytes of data, from 700 to 800 kilobytes. Here, these are the inputs they have arranged. For the one partition, 3 applications or the 3 tasks or the 3 jobs. For the partition 2, only one job to execute. Next, for the partition 3, there are no jobs which are assigned. Next, for the partition 4, 2 jobs they have assigned for the queues. See here in a single queue, all the total 3 plus 1 plus 2, total 6 jobs are arranged in a single queue, and based on their characteristics, based on their availability memory in the hard disk, they are completely, for the partition 1 we have arranged partition 2, partition 3, partition 4. For all these partitions, they are completely distributing all these queues, all these jobs which are arranged in a input queue. Here input queue consists of 6 jobs. These 6 jobs are arranged for their memory to store among these 4 partitions. If the first partition was filled, automatically it will select the second one is filled automatically, third one is filled, it will go for the 4th partition. But after the completion of execution, it has to store entire concept. It has to store that entire concept in these, among these 4 partitions of memory or the hard disk. Okay. Here total 6 jobs. These 6 jobs are arranged in a single input queue, and all these single input queue, these 6 jobs will be assigned to 4 partitions to store. There is separate input queues for each partition, and single input queue. This one. That means first 2 are completely stored in the case of partition 4. Next, only one job will going to store in the case of partition 2, whereas remaining 3 are stored in the case of partition 1. Here the multiple input queues. Here it is all these multiple input queues can be arranged in a single input queue. Okay, that's the concept of how to arrange all the jobs in a queue format and based on that queue format, in which partition they will going to store all the jobs. So this one is the concept multi-programming with fixed partitions. Next, here it is a modeling multi-programming. This one is the concept is completely related to CPU utilization. That means first one, CPU utilization in the percentage wise we are writing in the case of y-axis, and degree of multi-programming we are writing in the case of x-axis. CPU utilization in the case of y-axis, a degree of multi-programming in the case of x-axis. Here in this one, suppose this multi-programming, up to what extent it is using input and output waiting time. Based on this input and output waiting time, if it is waiting time is more, its utilization is less. Waiting time is somewhat less than first one, its CPU utilization will going to become more usage, 20% of usage and 50% of usage and 80% of usage, depends on the waiting time. As the waiting time is less, utilization will becomes more. Here, as it is having the more waiting time, so utilization is less. Here it is, when compared with this 20, waiting time is less, so automatically utilization is completely increased from 20% to 18%. Whereas in the case of this, waiting time is more less, so automatically CPU utilization will becomes more, that's a 20 to 50%, 50 to 80%. Here in this one, what I would like to say is, if the waiting time is more, automatically CPU utilization is less. Okay, waiting time is less, utilization will becomes more. So that's a inverse proportion is existing in the case of CPU utilization and per seconds of time. Next, here in the case of relocation and protection. Here in the case of relocation and protection means protection for our data can be provided either by using the firewalls for not to access by any other persons, or to save our data from the hackers or the third party, whatever it is. We are saving the data in our systems either from the third persons or for the third party for not to access by any other persons. Only authorized persons should access the data. Unauthorized person should not access the data. That's a complete concept of protection. Next, to save our data, frequently some of the members, some of the users are completely rechanging or changing the complete data from one location to another location, one location to another one, third location to fourth one to fifth one. They will not going to store same type of files in the same location in all the times. They will going to relocate, they will going to redistribute the complete files from one location to another location. That's the concept of relocation and protection. Here in the case of this relocation and protection, cannot be sure where a program will be loaded in the memory. Okay. Except here in this one, suppose in the case of your hard disk or the secondary memory device itself, C, D, E, F 4 drives are existing. Only you can select the drives that's in C drive, whether we have to store the location, or in the case of D drive, or in the case of E, or in the case of F. In what type of drives we are going to store that location, store that particular data. A drive lo store cheyagalamanni cheptam kaani in that location, in that drive itself, what is the exact location where that program will going to load, we cannot sure, we cannot say like that. ఈ పర్టికులర్ లొకేషన్ లో మాత్రమే స్టోర్ అవుతుంది, ఇన్ దిస్ లొకేషన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అనేబుల్ టు స్టోర్. వీ కాంట్ సే ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్ లొకేషన్. ఓకే, బట్ వీ కెన్ సే ద డ్రైవ్ ఇన్ విచ్ డ్రైవ్ ద డేటా విల్ గోయింగ్ టు లోడ్, దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ దట్ డ్రైవ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇన్ విచ్ లొకేషన్ ఇట్ విల్ గోయింగ్ టు లోడ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఆర్ స్టోర్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ డేటా అన్నది మాత్రం కన్ఫామ్ గా చెప్పలేం. ఓకే, హియర్ యూజ్ బేస్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ కంప్లీట్ లిమిటెడ్ వాల్యూస్. It is having, the memory is having their own limitations. Those limitations are nothing but the concept of address locations can be added if required. That's nothing but the concept of our physical addressing. Address locations are completely larger than limit value. Suppose if extra memory is adding, such as our swapping, ఏదైతే అప్లికేషన్ రన్ అవుతుందో for that particular application it is unable to, it's let us consider that the existing memory is not sufficient. At that time it has to add some more memory to the running application. So at that running application, if it is adding some other memory, extra memory, at that time for that memory it has to give the physical address, okay, where it was brought, that particular extra memory, where it is adding, okay, what are the different types of locations for that memory. Really for that memory locations will be useful to our application or not. So like that it has to give some of the answers for the existing arising questions, okay. So that's a physical address, and that address locations must be larger than the limitation value. Suppose limitation values are only up to 0 to 100 locations, means some more extra memory if it is adding, means suppose 50 locations it is adding, suppose 100 memory locations are already existing, 50 locations it is adding, that's a number are completely assigned from 101 to 150. This one is the concept, okay, than the limit value. So this one is the concept of relocation and protection. Here in the case of swapping implementation, A is the concept. See here, A is an application which is running, operating system is existing, A is a one application. For this application, A application, extra memory which is completely adding, this one is refers to the concept of extra memory. This existing memory for the application A is not sufficient to use, so in that case this complete memory can be added. Guys, this is the swapping application, implementation of swapping memory. Here the OS is completely executing one of the application that is named as A. For this application the existing memory is not sufficient, so some more extra memory the OS is completely enables to assign. The swapping is the technique, memory management technique, which will going to add some extra memory to the existing application if it is not sufficient, okay. Moreover, really if it is a sufficient memory, for the extra added memory, this OS is completely enabling one more application such as named as B, one more application it is completely assigning. Next here, this one is the complete memory will be used for the application A, and this one is a free of memory which is completely assigned for these two applications by the OS. Next, again from this existing memory, again one more application will be added for its execution, that will be named as C. So like this OS will going to add some extra memory. It's swapping is a memory technique which enables the OS to add extra memory for the existing applications or for the running applications if it is not sufficient, okay. Next, moreover, for the added extra memory, it has to allocate, the OS has to allocate the memory locations in a different manner, not in the case of sequence. In any manner, randomly the OS will going to allocate the memory locations for the extra added memory in random manner, not in the case of sequential. There is no condition that OS will going to allocate the memory locations in the case of sequential manner only. Either in the case of sequential depends upon the requirement, either in the case of sequential or in the case of random, okay. So that's the memory locations will be added for the extra required memory. So first only one application is existing, that's named as A. For the based on the existing free of memory, one more application is entered into the queue, that is named as B. Again memory is sufficient, memory is free, so that's why one more application will be added to the existing memory, that's a C. Next, this one, after the completion of A execution, this complete memory will going to be free, that will be allocated for D. So like this, whatever the free memory is there, that free memory will be allocated for the newly joined applications, and if it is not sufficient, automatically it will add some more extra. So this one is a one type of swapping technique, how it is interchanging the memory, existing memory from one application to another application. That means A to B, B to C, C to D. Again in the place of A it is adding the some more application, that is D. So like this, these are the different scenarios how the swapping can be implemented in the case of memory management technique, okay. This one is a one application, and this one is a one more type of swapping technique, that's the implementation. The previous slide is the implementation of swapping memory of first one, whereas this one is comes under our second concept. This one is completely related to the concept of how actually in use, what type of memory is actually in using, how much we require, that will comes under that's a room for growth. Here two concepts are there. In the case of A, let us consider in the case of diagram A, this one is the actual memory which is already in use for the application A. This memory is not sufficient. How much memory if we require? How much memory this application required by the OS as an extra one? Where it has to locate? What are the different types of locations it has to store? That's a room for growth here. Next, this one is also for B. This one is a memory area which is actually in use for the application B. This one is also not sufficient for the B application. Again, here in this one, B also required some extra memory. That's a swapping implementation. Moreover, this one is a room for extra. This one is a memory locations which will be added extra. Okay, that's a room for growth. Room for growth is nothing but the concept of what memory is in use. Okay, what is the different memory space we have to allocate to the application? What are the memory locations? How much of space we require to allocate that memory? Okay, that's a concept of room for growth. Okay, this one is already in use. This one is a added memory locations. How much of space for that one it requires? And this one is also B. Additional memory required for B. Okay, this one is the one more implementation of swapping technique. Next, here in the case of this slide describes the concept of memory management with bitmaps. Memory management with bitmaps. Here in the case of this, let us consider the two representations B as well as C diagram, B and C. Here A application, B, C, D, E. These are the applications or the jobs which are ready to execute. Next, see here. The application A requires these are the application A requires for its executions. These are the memory locations and in the bit formats. In the bit format of representation, the memory locations, how many it requires. Okay, see here. Here in this one, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 5 ones it has. 5 ones. These 5 ones must be in active positions, already in use. 1 refers to the concept of use. 0 refers to the concept of at first it is not available memory. In future we require that type of memory. See here, A is the application which is ready to execute. In that particular application, for this application, they require the memory of these many number of bits. Here 5 ones and 3 zeros. 5 ones means 1 refers to the concept of availability of memory. 0 refers to the concept of not available. In future, I require this much of additional memory. Okay. Here in this one, in the case of applications, for these 5. Here in the case of application A, it requires the 5 ones related to that. 5 ones means that's already memory available to A. 0 means it's not available. In future, we require application A requires that type of memory locations. This one is part of memory with 5 processes. That's A, B, C, D, E, and 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. These are. Here 3 holes refers to the concept of how many bits of memory already available and how many bits of memory is not available. That not available may be existing, that not available memory locations, it may acquire in future. Okay, here the corresponding bitmap and same information as a list. Okay, this one is the concept of memory management, how it will going to take place in the case of with the bitmaps. Here, that's a previous slide is completely related to the concept of with the bitmaps, and this one is the concept of memory management with the linked list. Here, A is the application, and here the B is the application. Here the concept of X refers to the concept of any terminating process is there, ready to terminate or yet to terminate, or it is not in an execution mode. So that type of processes will not be considered by operating system. So whatever the applications which are ready to execute, then only within the queue, then only that type of applications or the jobs or the task can be considered by OS. Here in this one is the first concept, before the termination of X and after termination of X. Okay, before the termination of X, here it will be like this. After completion of A's execution, only B is ready to execute. Already next, B is already execution was completed, which means that automatically there is no concept of A, there is no concept of X, there is no concept of B. It's a completely, the memory will be free both after the completion of A, X as well as B. So like this, what type of applications are under? So what type of applications are under execution mode and what type of applications are ready to terminate, which are not in an execution mode? So like this, after the termination of X, this one is a AXB will becomes A plus free of memory for X and B execution. Next, after the execution of B, next here this one is the completion of execution both after A as well as B. Complete memory will be free in the case of D location. This one is the concept. Next, here in the case of virtual memory, as I told you that already paging is the concept of accessing the data. Paging is the concept of accessing the data from the secondary memory. If really it requires, automatically the paging technique than the swapping, moreover than the cache, than the main memory, that paging technique will going to be implementation related to the paging technique will be less. Here in the case of paging technique, it is that paging technique to implement ways will going to performs this paging technique will be in the what we can call it is taking more time. Why means paging technique is nothing but the concept of accessing the data from the secondary memory. Than the cache memory, than the main memory, accessing the data from the secondary memory will take some more time. Okay, so paging technique to implement is taking the more time by the OS. Okay, here the implementation of virtual memory is like this, the position and function of memory management unit. The word MMU refers to the concept of memory management units. Here this one is a CPU package. This package consists of complete memory management units. This memory management unit, this one is the concept, first refers to this one is the CPU, this one is a complete package, this one is a memory management unit, and this one is CPU sends virtual addresses to memory management unit. This arrow sending the concept of virtual addresses to memory management unit. Here in this, memory management unit sends the physical address to memory. MMU sends the physical address to memory, whereas MMU gets the virtual addresses. By getting the virtual addresses to the MMU, MMU will send the physical addresses. So here the MMU controls all these CPU package, that's complete CPU, memory management unit, and individual memory units and their disk controllers. All these concepts will be attached to or communicated by using a single communication channel. That single communication channel can be known as a bus. Okay, to the single communication channel, all these concepts will be communicated. Okay, attached directly, we can say that. That's the CPU, memory, and disk controller. Here it is a paging technique. That's a virtual memory paging technique. How these virtual addresses can be converted into the physical memory addresses. These virtual addresses, CPU sends the virtual addresses to the memory management unit. Moreover, that memory management unit converts these virtual addresses into physical addresses. The relation between virtual addresses and physical memory addresses given by this type of page table. Okay. See here, all these are virtual addresses, 0K to 4K, 4K to 8K, 8K to 12, with the difference of all these 4 kilobytes of difference per 4 kilobytes of difference per each. These are the virtual address spaces. This one is a virtual page, and that virtual page can be converted into physical memory addresses. See here. Here the word X refers to this memory, this virtual address space is no need to convert into physical address space. Whereas the integers which are arranged from starting to ending, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In a fixed format, whatever the integers they have arranged, only that locations are enough to convert from virtual address space to memory address space, physical address space. Sorry, conversion from virtual address space to physical address space, that's enough. Here in this one, that means 60K to 64K, that's a into mark or the X mark is there. That into mark, which means that this memory, this virtual address space, no need to convert into physical address space. This one is also no need to convert into physical address space. Whereas what are the different addresses, what are the addresses which are need to be converted from virtual address space to physical address space means this one is the first 0K to 4K, which is already integer assigned for this, 4K to 8K, 8K to 12K, 12K to 16K, 16K to 20K, 20K to 24K, and after that 20K to 24K, and after that 36K to 40K, and after that 44K to 48K. So like this, these are the what we can call these are the priorities which are arranged for the virtual address spaces, which will be converted into physical address space at first, and then second, and then third, and then fourth, like this was the priority. Okay, this one is a page frame, we can call. This one is page frame. This one is a virtual address. This one is completely page table, and these are the virtual address spaces and physical memory addresses which will be converted from virtual to physical. Here it is a page table format with the memory management unit with 164 kilobytes of pages. 4 kilobytes of pages. Sorry, that's 4 is the difference between 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, like this. 4 kilobytes of pages each one, and like that 4 kilobytes of pages each one. Like that, how many number of pages means those are 16 pages from 0 to 15, which are arranged in a format that is 0. See here, 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 15, total 16. Each page size is completely 4 kilobytes of pages. This one is a page table. Here in this 12-bit offset copied directly from input to output. Here the 12-bit of data. The 12-bit is completely copied here in this one. First one is among that first 12 bits 110. First 3 bits in the case of these 12 bits are 110. That 110 where it is existing in the case of second location. Virtual page equal to 2 is used as an index into the page table. This 110 are the first 3 bits of these 12 bits. These 110 are existing in the second location. So that 2 integer can be used as a index for this particular page table. How to assign an index for a page table? This one is a process. Okay, first 3 bits, that 3 bits are existing in which location, and that location number will be used as a index for page table. That's the concept. Next, here in this one is a 32-bit addresses page table implementation. One more concept. Here in this page table 1, page table 2, offset. Here offset field we are using as a 12-bit representation. Page table 2 consists of 10 and page table 1 consists of 10 bits. Here in this totally from 0 to 124, sorry 1024, 1024, that's a 1024 kilobytes, that's a 1 megabyte of data, 1 megabyte of tabular format. This one 1024 kilobytes, that's a 1 megabyte. So top level page table from 1023 to 0 or 0 location to 1023. Here in the case of second level page tables consist of this first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, like this up to 1023. From 0 to 1023, that's nothing but 1024, 1024 page tables are existing. Okay, each page table, this one is a one concept, and it will be converted into like this. It's a top level management, and this top level page table can be converted into second level. If requires, again this second level also page table can be converted into one more concept. That's a third level page tables. So like this, page tables conversions can take place from top level to second level to third level to fourth level. This concept is completely related to only two level. This level, this implementation, page table implementation is completely related to only two level. If requires, really if requires, OS can be converted into the one more format also, that's a third level also. This example is only the concept of two level page tables. Here in this one more concept of page table representation, that is page table entry. How a new job can be converted, how a new task will going to be entered for a new job, how to assign a paging, how to assign the memory, where it will be arranged in the queue formats, whether in the case of depends upon the priority, whether the new job can be assigned in the case of first at the queue itself, or the second in the queue, or the third in the queue, or last in the queue. Depends upon what type of page table entry can takes place for a new job. That's the concept of this. That's a first one is a catching disabled, next one is a modified. These are the different types of fields for a new job entry into the queue. Okay, what's the reference to? How, whether it is a protected page or not, that type of concept, whether that page index is present or absent, what's the page frame number. So like this, these are the types of fields for each page table entry to represent what are the different types of page fields we are using. Okay, whether it is enabled or disabled, whether it is a modifiable or not, this page is completely referenced by another page or not. Next, what is the protection? Next, whether that particular page or the task will going to be present or absent. Next, what is the page frame number for that. Next concept is inverted page tables. Here in the case of inverted page tables is the concept of converting based on their index values. Based on their index values, that physical address space can be reduced. Physical address spaces can be reduced. Really, if we require some more address spaces, based on the hashing techniques, we are completely extending the memory cells. See here in the case of inverted page tables, the locations are starting from 0 to 2 power 52 minus 1. 0 to 2 power 52 minus 1. Here is a traditional page table with an entry for each of the users, 2 power 52 minus 1. Now, these 4 kilobytes of page frames are completely reduced. That is 0 to 2 power 16 minus 1. Based on their indexes, based on their index values, that's nothing but by the implementation of hashing technique. By the implementation of hashing technique, the moment when it is reducing from 0 to 2 power 16 minus 1, automatically by the implementation of hashing technique, whatever the results we are going to get, that means the result is a 0, which means that 0th location can be extended. That's the first extension, second extension, third one, fourth one, fifth one. Okay, whereas the result is the 4. Let us consider 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. By the implementation of hashing technique, the result we got as 4. That means fourth cell or the fourth memory location can be extension up to some. Suppose, let us consider the last one is the result. This one can be extended. Okay, whatever the concepts we are completely extending in such a format that first field of the extension can be considered as a virtual page, whereas the second cell or the second location can be considered as page frame. Okay, by using what type of technique? The large size of page table entries can be converted into a small size. That's a 2 power 52 minus 1 to 2 power 16 minus 1 with a 4 kilobytes of page frames each one. Next, page replacement algorithms. One of the most important topic. There is a chance of getting one question compulsory either from the page fault concept or in the case of page replacement algorithms. Here in the case of page fault refers to the concept of exception. Exception raised by computer hardware when a running program accessing memory page that is not available within the memory. Page fault is nothing but the concept of raising an exception. This particular exception will going to raise by the pages or by the different jobs. Really, if they require some additional pages or additional memory locations, if those additional memory locations are not available, వాటికి additional memory locations కావాలి కానీ అవి availability లేవు. In that cases, in that particular situation, what type of exception that memory management will going to raise, that type of concept is comes under page faults. Here page fault is nothing but the concept of type of exception raised by the computer hardware when a running program accesses memory page that is not a memory mapped with the memory management units. Okay. ఆ పర్టికులర్ అప్లికేషన్కి మ్యాపింగ్ జరగనటువంటి ఆ అప్లికేషన్కి సంబంధం లేనటువంటి కాన్సెప్ట్ని ఏదైనా యాక్సెస్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేసినప్పుడు రియల్లీ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ అవైలబుల్ ఇన్ ద కేస్ ఆఫ్ మెమరీ management unit, at that time whatever the type of exception which will be raised by the OS, that type of exception can be known as page faults. Okay, all these types of page fault concepts must be removed. Page fault is nothing but the exception. That type of exceptions, by having such type of exceptions, OS will not going to execute the concept. So by removing the page fault exceptions, page faults only, it has to go further. Okay. Next, modified page must first be saved. It has to save the modified page. Next, better not to choose an often used page. Here for page faults, for not to occur the page faults as an exceptions, it should not use the concepts of already used pages. Either already used చేసిన pages కాకుండా, it has to go for using the concept of considering the new pages. That's a better. Okay. Here in the case of page replacement is nothing but the concept of by implementation of such type of algorithms, page replacement algorithm, by implementing that, what type of page to be moved out, what type of page to be replaced, what type of page to be moved out from the memory since long time it is existing in the memory. ఓకే, ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయినటువంటి పేజ్ కానీ ఆల్రెడీ అవసరం లేనటువంటి పేజ్ కానీ మెమరీలో లాంగ్ టైం నుంచి ఉంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ పేజ్ని రీప్లేస్ చేసి న్యూ పేజ్ని ఆ లొకేషన్లో పర్టికులర్గా ప్లేస్ చేస్తే, సో ఫర్ దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ప్లేసింగ్ బై రిమూవింగ్ వన్ పేజ్, ప్లేసింగ్ ద న్యూ పేజ్ ఇన్ టు ద మెమరీ. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ద టైప్ ఆఫ్ algorithms which are used for this purpose, those algorithms are completely comes under page replacement algorithms. Here this one is a one type of page replacement algorithm, that is a optimal page replacement algorithm. Here the replace page needed at the farthest point in future, optimal but unrealizable. Here estimated by logging page on use free runs, and although this is the impractical, optimal page replacement algorithms that at the time of implementation of concept OS, sometimes it's not considering in the case of optimal page. Then the optimal page, the OS will going to implement some more page replacement algorithms are there. Okay, if it is in some of the situations, this type of implementation of optimal page replacement is not possible. That's impractical sometimes. Why means it's unrealizable. Due to these reasons, OS is not implementing in a frequent manner. That's the optimal page replacement algorithm. Here in this one, then the optimal recently used page replacement algorithm, each page has reference bit compulsory, it should consist of, and one modified bits. Each page should consist of reference bit as well as modified bit. Pages are classified into different categories. Not a referenced one, not modified. Not a referenced one, modified one. Referenced one, not a modified one. Referenced and modified. Okay, these are all the pages are completely categorized at the time of implementing this recently used, not a recently used page replacement algorithm. This not recently used page replacement algorithm removes the page randomly. There is no chance to consider this type of there is no chance of considering up to how much time this page is existing in the case of memory, whether we have to delete this particular page or not. Okay, whether this particular page is under execution or not, really this page is useful for the application or not. Irrespective of all these concepts, this NRU removes the pages randomly from the memory. from the lowest numbered non-empty class. Whatever the lowest numbered which are arranged or assigned for the pages, that lowest numbered pages will going to be removed at first from the memory by using this type of algorithm. Next one, FIFO page replacement algorithm. That's the concept of first in first out page replacement. Maintain a linked list of all pages from one page to another page, from one more to second one to third one to fourth one, and fourth one to fifth one. So like this it will completely manages the linked list of all pages. Next, page at the beginning of list replaced. Page at the beginning of list replaced. And then what's the disadvantage means, here page in memory is the longest may be often used. A particular memory lo what type of which page is existing since a long time, that can be replaced at first. Next, second chance of page replacement algorithm is existing like this. That's the implementation can take place like in this format. That's a page which will be loaded at first, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Most recently loaded page is H. Okay. Next, A is treated like a newly loaded page. In place of H, A can be replaced. Okay, that's the concept. Why means this will be loaded at first, this will be most recently loaded. So this H is completely replacing with the concept of A, and then B. After completion of execution A, automatically B will be added. B, after B completion, C will be added, D, E, F, G, H. So like this, each and every concept after the execution of the first one, whatever the recently loaded after the first page. B is the recently loaded after the first page A. So after execution of A, B's execution can take place. After B and then C. Here in this one, in place of H, A is the replaced. In place of A, B will be replaced. Next, in place of B, C will be replaced. In place of C, D will be replaced. So like this, complete replacing the technique of pages can take place. Okay. So that's the concept of second chance of page replacement algorithm, which will be loaded at first. Those pages will be executed at first. Next, in the case of one more concept, that's a clock page replacement algorithm. Here in the case of this clock page replacement algorithm, in the previous slide we have arranged all that execution of jobs, that's from A to H, all the tasks are all the pages from A to H. This one consists of, in the case of clock page replacement algorithm, A, B, C, D, E to up to L. Okay, so this one is completely takes place in the case of clockwise only. Clockwise, either starts from A, let us consider, or starts from B. In this diagram, this execution starts from C, let us consider C, D, E, F, G, H, after L, and then A, and then B. It will select only clockwise. When a page fault occurs, the hand is pointing to inspected. Here the arrow or the pointing, that's a pointing arrow or the pointing head, it's nothing but the concept of which is ready to execute. Now the C is under execution mode. Now the D is under execution mode. After the completion of A, automatically D. Next E, next E. Whatever the page which is completely headed or the pointed, that page or the task or the job which is ready to execute, that is in the queue format. Next, one more concept of page replacement algorithm is list recently used. Assume pages are used recently will be used again. So and must keep a linked list of pages similar to the first in first out itself. It will maintain the concept of linked list format, and then alternatively it has to go for keeping all these concepts in each page table entry. Okay, from A to L or from A to H. Whatever the jobs or whatever the tasks or whatever the pages which are arranged in the queue formats, all the tasks or all the jobs, they have to go for arranging in a queue formats. Each and every page entry must exist in the case of page table. Page table lo compulsory enter cheyali. Page table entry, it should consist of from starting to ending. Okay. Next, here in the case of this slide simulating the LRU in software. Here in the case of this one is the first application of simulation for the LRU application. LRU recently used algorithm, page replacement. Here in the case of this one, 0, 1, 2, 3. Again, this one is also 0, 1, 2, 3. Total 16 page table entries are there. 4 by 4 matrix format we are representing. Here in the case of this one, first in the case of 0th location, 0, 0 column 0, 0, 1 column 1. Here is the 1, here is the 1. Okay. Least recently used means since more time it is existing in the case of concept. This 0 and 1 location is existing since more time. So automatically this will be replaced. Next this will be replaced, and then third will be replaced. First this one will be replaced, second one will be replaced, and then third one will be replaced. So like this at first automatically all these concepts you are getting as zeros. Okay. Next, second one. Here we will get 1. Here is the 1. Here is the 1. So like this, whatever the concept which is since a long time, if that page is existing in the page table more and more time, at that time automatically that page will be removed from that page table entry, and that page table entry can be treated as 0 for this. So like this, page referenced in order 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, 3. This one is a page referenced in order. At last, after the completion of each and every application of LRU, or it may be first in first out or something else. Okay, you have to give the order, in which order it will going to remove the pages. Okay, first 0th location complete ga zeros fill అయిపోతాయి. Next first location లో fill అయిపోతాయి. Next second location, next third location. So like this, a location లో first అన్ని fields కూడా 0 గా fill అయిపోతున్నాయి. So that's the concept of this simulating LRU in software. Okay. Next, here the page replacement algorithm. What are the review related to these particular page replacement algorithms? Here the reviews are completely related to optimal. What type of comment you are going to give? Suppose if it is a not recently used algorithm. Okay. What type of feedback really if you are having, if I am using, if our system or OS is completely implementing this such type of algorithm, means what type of comment or what type of feedback that the user will get. So suppose if it is the concept of optimal page replacement algorithm, it is a non-implementable. Suppose for the not second one is the concept of for a not recently used one. Next one is the first in first out, and the second chance clock recently. So like this, these are the different types of comments or the feedbacks which will be arised by the concept of implementation of page replacement algorithms, really whether they are useful or not for the applications to execute. This one is the concept of how by the implementation of different types of page replacement algorithms, what are the different types of comments or the feedbacks we are going to get. That is. Next, here is a instruction separate instruction, separation of all the existing instructions, how the data spaces, how the memory can be allocated for the instructions, each and every instructions after separating. This one is a program for 0th location, first location and second location, and this one is the data related to single address space of management technique, that's a 2 power 32 memory locations, from 0 to 2 power 32 memory locations. Here it is a program. Here this one is the concept of for this program to execute, only this one is the memory locations to be used, and unused page and unused space is this one. D refers to the concept of unused. Separate I and D spaces. Here in the case of I and D spaces means I space is completely used for the purpose of which was completely initiated, and D is the complete concept of from that initiation of existing address spaces, how many are useful, how many are not used memory locations, unused page and used page of data. Okay, this one is the concept of separating the instructions and data spaces. Here in the case of shared pages, this one is the process table, program 1, data 1, data 2. Okay. To execute this particular program, it requires this data, and here in this one it requires this data, data 1, data 2, to execute this particular program. These are all these completely related to the concept of page tables. The program in the case of page table in this format, the data in the page table, and the data 2 is in the case of page table. Next, here in the case of process table, For this program to execute, it has to go for using the concept of data 1 in the case of first location and data 2 in the case of second location also. That's why this arrow mark is completely related to the concept of first one as well as second one. To execute this process, to execute this program, it requires the usage of both data 1 as well as data 2. Okay, two processes sharing the same program, sharing its page table. Okay, this one. Next, in the case of cleaning policy, need for a background process and paging domain. When too many frames are free, and it can use the same circular list. What are the different types of implementation issues? Operating system involvement with paging. Here, 4 times when a OS involved with paging. And what are the different types of situations OS will going to involve for the paging concept? First one is a page creation, process creation. Second one is a process execution, page fault time. OS will going to involve at the time of getting the page fault as an exception. Next one, process termination time. The process termination time is the release page table or the number of pages like this. 4 times when OS involved with paging. That's a process creation, process execution, page fault time, and then process termination time. Here in the case of what are the different types of situations where there is a chance of handling the page faults. Even though number of page faults are occurring, how to handle all these page faults? First, hardware traps to kernel, general registers saved, OS determines which virtual page is to be needed, OS checks the validity of address, seeks page frame. Next, if selected frame is dirty, write it to disk. So in these 5 different types of situations, there is a chance to handle the page fault as an exception by the OS. That first one is a hardware to kernel, general registers, OS determines the virtual page which is to be needed, OS checks the validity of address, and then which is particular frame is dirty means that frame is not at all useful, it consists of unwanted data. Okay, that will be written to the disk. This one is the second situation. Okay, here in this one, OS brings the schedules, page tables to be updated, faulting instructions backed up to when it began. Next one, what we can call faulting processes should to be scheduled, registers restored, and program continues. Here instruction backup. How to get the backup for the instructions if at all due to some fluctuations, if all the instructions are the coding part or maybe the program, if we lost that instruction, backup can take place in which manner? So that's the concept of operational code. Move is refers to the concept of operational code. That's assembly level language command. By implementing that operational code, that first operand can take the 6 bits, whereas the second operand can take the 2 bits of information. That is 1000, 1002, 1004. So like this, by the implementation of these two opcode with first operand and second operand, that will be leads to the concept of page fault occurrence. Next one, locking pages in memory. Here in the case of virtual memory and IO occasionally interacts. What are the different types of issues to read from device to buffer? Buffer refers to the concept of what we can call temporary memory. Buffer refers to temporary memory. Suppose OS is completely reading the data. Let us consider OS is reading the data from that particular device, that's a secondary hard disk storage or the magnetic tape, whatever it is. From the secondary storage, OS is taking the data. Next, instead of placing that data in a particular location, it wants to place the data in a some buffered location. That's a temporary memory location. At that time also there is a chance of locking the pages. Next one, it need to specify some pages to be locked. Next one, how to that's a backing store refers to the concept of swapping memory from one location to another location. If it requires really, here in the case of memory, main memory for the page table, these are the memory locations, they were already arranged. Next, instead of this one, it requires some other memory locations. Let us consider 7512, 0346, these are existing here. 1257 are not existing. This 1257 we have to place in some other location. That means other than this, the OS required some additional memory locations. So the additional memory locations are named as 1257. Thus, additional memory locations are completely arranged in the swap area of some other disk, not in the case of main memory, some other disk formats. Here, this one is also the same. Whatever the memory locations which are not existing, same main memory disk formats. Okay. So, A refers to the concept of paging to static swap area, this one. Whereas in the case of second one is a dynamic concepts. Separation of policy and mechanism. Here page fault handling with the external page replacements. What's the user process? External page is existing. Next one, fault handler is existing. Next, memory management unit handler is also existing. Here for each and every action, for each and every system call that will be executed by the kernel space kernel. Here first one is this one, and user space will be executing the commands as a needed page, which means that he is sending some request. Next, third one is they are requesting for a particular page. Next, page arriving. Next, here is the page, they are giving the memory locations, and by knowing that particular memory locations, automatically that page is in use. Okay, here page is not available, automatically he will get some error. That's nothing but the concept of page fault. So exception వచ్చింది అంటే నాకు పేజ్ అవైలబిలిటీ లేదు, పేజ్ అవైలబిలిటీ లేదు కాబట్టి నాకు పేజ్ కావాలి అని చెప్పి నేను రిక్వెస్ట్ సెండ్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఐ నీడ్ ఏ పేజ్. సో ఫర్ దట్ ఐఎమ్ సెండింగ్ సమ్ రిక్వెస్ట్. Based on that request, this disk is providing a page. Here is the page. Page memory location ekkado cheptunnaru. So by knowing that particular page memory location, that page is I am accessing. That's nothing but the concept of it is in use. Okay, so that's the complete conversation takes place in between user space and kernel space. Next, here in the case of segmentation, that complete first we need to know the concept of what do you mean by the word segmentation. Here in this one, complete concept of memory, complete memory will be divided into individual segments. Okay, each division of memory or each partition of memory can be known as a segment. The process of dividing the entire memory into the individual partitions is known as segmentation. Okay, here this entire virtual address space, this address space will be divided into number of partitions, first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Last one, this one is a symbol space, symbol table. It consists of source text, it consists of constant table, parse tree, and then call stack. So like this one is the concept of completion. Total address space can be divided into number of partitions. Here is the implementation of segmentation concept in the second slide, with growing phase as well as shrinking phase. This growing phase refers to the concept of symbol table, shrinking phase refers to the concept of source text for parse tree and call stack. Here these are the segment 0, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4. Here in this one is the entire virtual address space is divided into 5 segments from 0 to 4. Segment 0 for the symbol table, segment 1 for source text, segment 3 for constants, segment 3 for parse tree, segment 4 for call stack. So like this, that for each and every task, the entire partition, entire memory space can be divided into number of individual partitions. Those individual partitions will be like this one. Here is the completion of that's a non-pure segmentation and pure segmentation. Two topics are there. Whatever the concept which we have seen so far, that will comes under non-pure segmentation, whereas this concept comes under pure segmentation. This one comes under pure segmentation. Here in the case of pure segmentation, A to D refers to the concept of development of checkerboarding. A, B, C, D. E refers to the concept of removal of checkerboarding by compaction. Okay, here it will automatically remove the concept of checkerboarding. That means this type of segment is not necessary at this particular moment. Even though it is not, even though it is available, I am unable to use. They can go for using this type of segmentation process for another task or another job. Like this, it will remove the concept. segment 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 5 segments are there, starting from 0 to 4. Here in the case of segment 0, 4 kilobytes, segment 1, 8 kilobytes, segment 2, 5, segment 3, 8, segment 4, 7 kilobytes. So like this, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. At starting we require segment 0, 7, 2, 6, 5. And this 10 kilobytes of memory is not required for us. Automatically it will be removed from checkerboarding. Segmentation with paging, that's a Pentium processor. That's a Pentium processor. We're going to consider what type of implement what type of segmentation concept. There's a total bits starting from 0 to total 13 bits and 1 bit and one more 2 bits, total 16 bits. A Pentium selector can implement the total 16 bits of the concept. These 13 bits are used for index and 1 bit is used for LDT and 2 bits are used for privilege level. That's a 0 to 3 starting from total 2 bits. That's a 0 to 3. Next, Pentium 2 will implement the concept of code segment descriptor like this. Pentium code segmenter descriptor and data segment differ slightly. Here total, in the case of previous slide, Pentium 1 implementation concept of previous one, that's a Pentium processor, 13 bits. Here is the implementation can take place by using 32-bit representation. This 32-bit representation also will be like this from starting from 0 to 15, and here is the limitations from 0 to 15. 16 bits, 0 to 15 means 16 bits of limitations. Base bits are nothing but the concept of 0 to 15, 16 bits. 16 plus 16, 32 bits. And here, in the case of base 0 to 15, that's a 16 bits of representation. Limit 16 to 19. This one refers to the concept of unused memory locations. Next, 0th bits. Next, D refers to the concept of 16-bit segment, 32-bit segment. G refers to the concept of LI is in bytes and limit is in bytes and limit is in pages. Limit is in pages as well as bytes, 0 and 1. Next, base addresses are completely starting from 24 to 31. So like this, limit is 16 bits and base 16 bits will be divided into different partitions. Next, here in the case of one more type of implementation of segmentation with the Pentium processor, like this, 0, 1, 2, 3 locations. These are the levels. 0th location or the 0th level is nothing but related to the concept of kernel. First level related to system calls. Second level related to shared libraries. Third level related to user programs. Okay, these are the concepts of segmentation with the paging. First one, second one, third one. These three slides are completely related to the concept of first one, 16-bit representation of segmentation with Pentium processor, 32-bit representation of segmentation with Pentium processor. Whereas in the case of this one, protection on the Pentium processors, in what levels they are having. Pentium processor will going to provide the security or the protection based on what are the different types of levels. Okay, this one is the concept of segment. Okay, this one is a complete concept. Up to now, whatever the concepts we have seen, this previous concepts is completely related to the memory management. What are the different types of memory management techniques? What are the different types? What do you mean by the word page fault? What do you mean by the word swapping? What do you mean by the word paging? Okay, what are the different types of page replacement algorithms we have? And what do you mean by the word segmentation? How the segmentation of the concept related to the Pentium processor and their implementations related to the what we can call 16-bit representation of segmentation, 32-bit representation of segmentation, and then protection in between the different levels. Okay, so these are the concepts of up to memory management units. Okay. Now let's come for the new concept, that is file systems. This file systems is the concept consists of these are the topics. What do you mean by the word file? Directories, file system implementation. What are the example file systems? These example file systems can take place in the case of Windows operating system, how it will going to take the file system. In the case of Unix operating system, how it will going to consider the file system. So how the implementation can take place in a different operating systems, either in the case of Windows or in the case of Unix. I will tell you both the concepts. Okay, what are the different types of file systems it will consider. Here, file refers to the concept of long-term information storage area. Must store large amounts of data. So each and every file automatically in our system is going to store megabytes of data. That's a large amount of data. Information stored must survive the termination of the process. After the completion of storing the information or storing the data, it has to go for terminating that particular process. Okay, even after storing that data also, we don't require any of the concept to still to place that one in the execution. So automatically after the completion of storing the data, it has to terminate. Next, multiple processes must be able to access the data information concurrently. Suppose it is that data will be data wants to access by the multiple processes, they must be available. Suppose let us consider only the one file is existing. That one file is completely related to the concept of remaining two processes and one. P1 process and P2 process. P1 wants the data of file 1, P2 also wants the data related to file 1. In that situations, P1 and P2 both are completely under execution. They require F1. That means the file F1 of data must be in shared mode. Okay, so that's the concept. Multiple process మొత్తం కూడా యాక్సెస్ చేస్తున్నా కానీ యాక్సెస్ చేసే విధంగా ప్లస్ షేర్డ్ మోడ్ లో ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవ్వాలి. Next, these are the file naming conventions. These are the file naming conventions. That's a file.backup file dot extension. Here dot consists of two concepts. Dot will be separates the concept, two concepts it dot will going to consist of. Whatever the left side, left part of the dot is completely related to the file name, whereas the right part of the dot consists of file extension. Dot back is the one type of extension. Dot C is the another type of extension. Dot GIF is the another type. Right part of the dot is extension. Left part of the dot refers to the concept of file name. Here, let us consider the first one, file dot back. That refers to the concept of backup file. File dot C, C program file it is. Okay. File dot Java, that's a Java program file. File dot HTML, this one is a HTML document. File dot JPG, this one is a Giant Photographic Experts Group, that's a JPG format. This one is a MP3. Okay. File.o, that's an object file we can say. File.pdf, file.doc, file.doc, that's a Word document. File.xsl, that's a, which means that that's an Excel sheet it refers to. File.txt, general text file or the normal notepad file it is. File.zip, that's a zip file, that's a compressed file formats. Compressed file format, that's a compressed archive. So these are the different types of file extensions. That's a file naming conventions, file naming conversions we can call. Now this one is a file structure. How many kinds of files means total three types of files or three kinds of files. First one refers to the concept of byte sequence. Second one refers to the concept of record sequence. Third one is a tree formats. Byte sequence, record sequence and tree formats. Here in the case of byte sequence, this one is the first one. Byte sequence. Each and every cell refers to the concept of only 1 byte of memory. That's the total. You can store 8 bits of data. That's enough, not more than that. This one is a completely records. Record is nothing but the collection of individual data of attributes. One record. Suppose based on your hall ticket number, simply by entering your hall ticket number from the server, entire data related to your from childhood to right now, automatically you will get the complete data. That's data what we get is completely related to one record. Okay. Next, here in the case of this one is tree structured format. Okay. So file can be arranged in the case of tree structured format, or in the case of record format, or in the case of byte sequence format. This one is a file structure. In three different types of file formats we can arrange. Next, these are the types of files. Two types of files are there: executable file, archive file. Here, in the case of executable files, it consists of symbol tables, relocation bits, data, text parts. Here, all these concepts are completely consist of actual data what they want to execute. Okay. Moreover, these text or data or relocation bits are the symbol table. From these four, all these four, it may consider if requires. Otherwise, it may skip any of the four concepts it doesn't require. It may skip the text by keeping these three. It may skip the data by keeping text, relocation bits as well as symbol table. It may skip symbol table by having relocation bits, data and text parts. Okay. Next, it consists of, this one is a header format. This one is the actual data and this one is a header format. Flags, entry point, symbol table size, data size, text size and magic number. This one is a header format, this one is a data format. This one is an archive file. Here archive file consists of header. Header consists of what are the different fields? Module name, date, owner, protection, size. Next, object module, header, object module, header, object module, again header, object module. Header consists of what are the different types of fields. Similar to this executable file, ఏ విధంగా అయితే మీకు header fields exist in here. As it is in the case of archive file also, it consists of some header fields. Those header fields are module name, date, owner, that's who created this particular file. Suppose I am created this file, archive file. Myself is the owner for this archive file. So how I will going to protect this archive file? What's the protection mechanism? Next, what's the size of this particular archive file? Next, how to access a particular file? That's either it may be the executable file or it may be the archive file. File accessing methods or file accessing mechanisms are of two categories: sequentially or randomly. Okay, sequentially means we have to read all the bytes or all the records from starting to ending. Suppose I would like to access the 10th record from 0th location, first location, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh, eighth, like this. I have to go for 10th. Suppose randomly, that means randomly it will going to implement the concept of random algorithm. Directly it will go for selecting the 10th file, or it may be 20th file, or it may be 30th file. Okay, no need to go for arranging all the files accessing mechanisms. No need to go for implementation in a sequential manner, either random accessing or sequential accessing. Than the sequential access, random access will going to take less time of searching process, whereas the sequential process will going to take more time for its searching process. Next, what are the different types of file attributes? Here in the case of these file attributes, protection refers to the concept of who can access the file and in what way. This meaning. Protection attribute, what is the meaning of this one? Password, for what purpose we are assigning the password. Creator, creator is nothing but the concept of ID or the person who created the file. Now owner, who is using right now, that's the current owner. File create చేసిన వాళ్ళు creator, ఆ file ని present ఎవరైతే యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారో they are nothing but the current owner. Read only flag, hidden flag, system flag, archive flag. Okay, these are the different types of flags which are arranging at the time of creating the files. That's a binary flag, random access flag, temporary flag, lock flags. These are the different types of flags. Each and every flag is having their own meaning is there. Depends upon their convenience, depends upon mode of action to create a particular file. This one is the 0 for the read or write, and and 1 for read only purpose. This one is a read only flag. This read only flag means only one bit it has to represent. Here in the case of 0 it has to represent, in the case of 1. So like this, each and every flag refers to the concept of either only one bit. Only one bit మాత్రమే represent చేస్తుంది. That one bit may be either 0 or 1. Each and every flag of 0 bit representation is having their own meaning. One bit of representation of flag is having their own meaning. Next, record length, number of bytes in a record. Key position, opposite of the key position. Next, key length, how much is the key we are using. Next, creation time, time of last accessing. Next, time of last change, what's the current size, what's the maximum size. So these are the some of the file attributes. Each and these attributes are completely useful for the users or the creators or owners at the time of creating the different types of files. Whether it may be the concept of tree structured file, or it may be the byte sequence of file, or it may be the record files. These are the types of attributes which are used frequently for the creation of files. What are the different types of operations which will going to be implemented on files? First operation is the create, delete, open, close, read, write, append, seek, get attributes, set attributes, and rename. These are the different types of operations which we are going to perform in the case of files. What are the different concepts of memory mapped files? Here in the case of memory mapped files, A refers to the concept of segmented process before mapping files into its address space. Whereas in the case of B refers to the concept of after mapping process after mapping existing file. This one is an existing file program text, and really it requires some data. That existing data is existing in the case of ABC, creating a new segment XYZ. So here this one is the concept. For this programming text in the location A, it doesn't require any concept of address space. Okay, that means that mapping files or the mapping data is not available for the program text. Next, here in the case of B, ABC is the mapping text, that mapping text which is required for the program text. Next, that's the mapping text is completely creating a new segment for the XYZ. Okay, existing file ABC into one segment, and we are creating a new segment that is for the XYZ. So this one is the concept of memory mapped files. Here in the case of this one, existing program is the one, and for that one automatically here it requires whatever the concept of data, it requires ABC or XYZ. If it is ABC is already available, this one is a concept of rectangle box. If that XYZ is not available, we have to create newly, then that will becomes under that's only single line formats. Next, in the case of directory, collection of files itself is the concept of directories. Directly we can call. That's here single level directory representation will be like this: A, B, C, D, or you can go for A, B, C. This one is just example formats. Root directory is there. These are the leaves. Okay. Contains 4 files. This directory contains 4 files. Collection of directories. Sorry, collection of files itself is the directory. This one is a root directory. Single level directory system. This one we can call. Contains how many types of files? Means 4 types of files with 3 different categories. A, B, C. Different categories are 3. Files are A, B, C. Like this. 2 level directory will be like this. Here in the case of single level directory, it consists of only 1 leaf nodes, whereas in the case of leaf nodes will be files are existing in the case of circles, directories in the case of square box. Okay. Next, here this is single square box is known as a root directory. A, B, C are the user directory which are existing in the level 1. Root directory is existing in the case of level 0. Level 1 consists of user directories. Next, whatever the concept of level 2, circle format, that circle format refers to the concept of files. User directory A refers to the concept of AA, B refers to the concept of B directory, consists of B types of files, C consists of C types of files. Letters indicates owners of the directories and files. This one. Next, hierarchical representation. That means there is no concept of only 0th level, first level, second level. There is no uniformity. In the case of a hierarchical, in the case of a hierarchical, that's a root directory. It consists of first level may ends directly with the single level, with the single child. Let us consider. Second level. Here in the case of B, as a user directory, it may consist of one more level, one more level, one more level. Any number of levels. There is no condition that every level should consist of either uniformity level of file representation. Anni levels uniform gaane undali ana condition emi ledandi. Here B consists of 2 levels. A consists of only one more. It's a subsequent level. User directory A consists of only one level. One A file it consists of only one file. B user directory is having some more 2 levels. That's a B and B. Here C consists of 3 different levels. C, C, C. Subdirectory, subdirectory, subdirectory. Okay. Here user directory A is not having any subdirectory. Okay. Next, user directory B is having one subdirectory, whereas user directory C is having 2 subdirectories like this. C and C. These 2 are subdirectories. And circle formats are completely related to files. Square boxes are directory or root directory or subdirectory. These are the different types of path names: bin file, extensions, etc., and library files, user files, and temporary files. Okay, this directory tree format, these path names are completely related to the concept of tree path names in the case of Unix operating system. Bin files, this one, etc files, path name is like this, library path name, and user path name. User path name may be AST or JAM, and library files. Next, this one is a temporary. AST will be, again, it is having the concept of one more subdirectory, and LIB is having one more subdirectory, and JIM is having one more subdirectory, is like this. Okay, these are the different types of path names which are existing in the case of Unix operating system for the directories. What are the different, similar to the concept of file operations, we can perform the different operations in the case of directory also. Those operations are create, delete, open directory, close directory, read directory, rename, link, and unlink formats. These are the different types of 8 operations we are going to perform in the case of directory operations. Next, in the case of file system implementation, this one is refers to the concept of file system implementation layout. There is an entire disk format, complete disk format like this. This one is a partition. This one is a one partition, second partition, third one, fourth one. This one is a one more partition. This one is a memory buffer reader concept, is a one more concept. Okay. Next, here in the case of first partition concept, boot block, super block. Next, free space management, inodes, root directory, files and directories. This one is a disk partition. Each and every disk partition is having these many number of fields. Here boot block, it consists of super block. Each and every field is having their own operation to implement in case of OS. By using the concept of partition table, or by using the concept of root directory, or inodes, free space management, super block. Like this, each and every partition is completely combination of these 6 fields. Every field is having the concept of their own implementations. Next one more concept, that's the file systems, is the log structured file systems. These log structured file systems with the CPU more faster and memory will be large. These types of file systems are having the concept of more faster and more amount of memory. It consists of more amount of memory, more data we can store in that. Next, LFS is a strategy that structures log file strategy structures the entire disk as a log, as a single log file. This LFS strategy, log file structure, LFS strategy completely manages the entire disk format as a single records, or as a single log. Next, here in the case of this one, directory entry, how to enter or how to give an entry for a new directory in the case of file systems. Here in this one, there's a CD-ROM file system like this. That's a read-only memory. In the case of compact disk, secondary memory, let us consider hard disk only. Leave about each and every concept. That read-only memory itself is your system's hard disk only. This hard disk will going to consider each and every for every directory, how it will going to give the entry into that particular hard disk concepts. First one is the location of file, file size, date and time. Next, what's the file name? That file name may be with the extension. What type of extension? What is the version of that particular file? What's the base name? Base name refers to the concept of what's the file name in general. Dot operator, left side extension. Left part of the dot operator. Right part of the dot operator is nothing but your extension. Base name, this one is the dot operator, left one, right one. Okay. Next, in the case of 1 and 1, these two are the bits, refers to the concept of extended attribute record length. If at all any record wants to extend its length within that particular file, then this particular bit will be activated by using the 1, otherwise it will be 0. Next, directory entry length. This one will be allocated if it is in 1 bit, means it is ready to access the, it is ready to accepting its length format to extend. దాని length ని extend చేయడానికి it is completely in accessing mode. Next, what's the location of file, what's the file size, what's the date and time to store this particular file or the directory into the hard disk, and what are the different types of flags. Okay, these are padding refers to the concept of extra added bits for the files. Other than these 18 bits or the 4 to 15 or the completion of total 16 bits, padding refers to the concept of extra added bits. And this one is the concept of implementation of file system in the case of disk operating system, that's a DOS. Okay, here in the case of bytes format representation, MS directory entry in the case of disk operating system, file name will take the 8 bits of data. Here extension 3 bytes, attribute 1 byte. These 10 bits are the reserved format, 2 bits for the time, 2 bytes for the concept of not the bit format, it's completely bytes only. 2 bytes for the date representation, at what time we are completely saving my directory into the hard disk. Okay, even at the time of saving my directory into the hard disk or my file into the hard disk, these are the fields that the hard disk will going to add to that particular file. At what time, on what date, what are the attributes, what's the file extension, whether it is a document file or the XML file, or it may be PDF file, or it may be JPG file. So like this, what's the first block number, 2 bytes, what's the size of that particular file, total 4 bytes. Okay, these many number of bytes. Okay, for the disk operating system to save a particular file, DOS operating system లో ఒక ఫైల్ ని కానీ సేవ్ చేయాలి అంటే what are the different types of bytes fields it consists of. 8 bytes for the file name, 3 bytes for the extension, 1 byte for attribute, 10 bytes of the reserved data, 2 bytes for the time, 2 bytes for date, 2 bytes for block number, size requires 4 bytes. Next, block sizes starting from 0.5 kilobytes, 1 kilobytes, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, like this completely its implementation takes place. Next, file allocation table, FAT format only it consists of FAT 12, FAT 16, FAT 32. So like this, these are the file allocation tabular formats disk operating system considers. Here maximum partition for the disk block sizes, FAT 32, maximum disk block entante 2 terabytes. Here in the case of 2, here in the case of 2, this one is only 1 terabytes. The empty boxes represent the forbidden combinations. There is no chance to make this type of combinations in the case of as far as table format is concerned. Next, this one is a file system in the case of Windows 98 operating system. So far in the case of last 3 slides, what we have seen, that's the disk operating system file system. Disk operating system లో file system ఏ విధంగా స్టోర్ అవుతుంది అన్నది in the case of previous slides. This one is the concept related to Windows 98. The same concept let us consider. This one is the files are same. Fields are, some of the fields are base name, extension, whereas here in this one let us consider file allocation table in the case of facts, in the case of disk operating system DOS, whereas in the case of this one it NTFS, network file systems, this Windows file structure will be, file system is NTFS. Here base name occupies 8 bytes, extension 3 bytes, attributes 1 byte. Next, for the secondary memory to be active in the case of 1 byte, for the creation of date and time will be 4 bytes. Next, for the last access to represent 2 bytes, upper 16 bytes and the starting of 2 bytes, last write date and time 4 bytes, 16 bits starting block, file size will be 4 bytes. This one is the concept of Windows 98 file system. That's one refers to the concept of first implementation will be like this. Next, here in the case of this one more type of files implementation in the case of OS, that's a byte format only, and 1 byte for the sequence. These 5 characters, these 5 characters are completely occupying 10 bytes, and 1 byte for the attributes, and this 1 byte for the representation of 0. Total 8 bits are completely zeros, and this 1 byte for the checksum, 6 characters 12 bytes. This 8 bit representation has a 2 bytes. total 16-bit representation of zeros as a 2 bytes. Remaining 2 characters are 4 bytes. This one is a one more type of file system representation in the case of Windows. That's a previous one with the different types of fields. This one is also the concept of with the different characteristics, whether it is having the 5 characters or the 6 characters or the 2 characters with a different file system implementation in the case of Windows OS. Next, in the case of Unix OS. In the case of this Unix OS version 7, file name consists of 14 bytes and 2 bytes for the inode number. This one is a directory entry. In the case of Unix operating system, for any directory to take an entry for any directory, what's the minimum file system size it should consist of means that's a 16 bytes. That's among the 16 bytes, 14 bytes is the file name, and for the inode number remaining 2 bytes. Next, for the same Unix operating system, this one is the concept of for the version 7. This one is one more type of file system. Here attributes it consists of. This attributes again will be divided into different types of blocks. Each and every block is related to first one single indirect, double indirect blocks. Here in the case of if it is a double indirect block, again it will be considered 2 single indirected blocks. If it is a single indirect block means there is no concept of representing that single indirect block into the different concept. That will be present as it is. Whereas in the case of double indirect block means that there is a chance of representing that double indirect block in the 2 different representations. That's a 2 single indirect blocks. This one is a 1 indirect, this one is a 1 more indirect. Suppose let us consider that's a triple indirect block. This one is a 1 more indirect, this one is a 1 more, this one is a 1 more. Like this, different types of indirect block representation based on disk addresses. This one is a 1 more concept of our Unix version 7 file system implementation. First file system implementation of Unix version 7 is the 16 bytes. 2 bytes for the inode number and 14 bytes for the file name. This one is a one type of one more concept of file system implementation for the Unix with the disk addresses. Single address indirect block, double indirect block, as well as triple indirect block. If it is a single indirect block means no need to go for representing one more type of version, one more format of version as a single indirect block. Whereas in the case of double indirect, we have to go for representing one more concept as an indirect block. And this one is the concept of file system implementation in another format with the inode only in another format. See here root directory consists of 1, 1, 4, 7, 14, 9, 6. Here these are the root directory entries as a inode numbers we can call. These are the inode numbers. This each and every inode number is having specific representation of files, whether it is a library files or it is a temporary files or the user files or they are the binary files. Each and every type of number, each and every number is having its own representation. That's next. Here is a inode number 6. Let us consider. Inode number 6 is for user. These are the user files it consists of. 6th location user number root directory number 6 refers to the concept of all our user files only. Though 6 is nothing but, let's see here, maximum size, how many number of times we are using this one. Next, let us consider 132. It consists of some data. Next, this one is an unused address space. Says that /user is in the block of 132. This 132 block lo, within this block of 132 numbered location, that user file is existing, I can say. Okay. Next, block 132 user directory. How again there is a chance of how that user block is completely recategorized again and again. That is 6, 1, 19, 30, 51, 26, 45. 45 refers to the balance file, balance record. Let us consider. 26 file, AST record. Let us consider. JAM file. Let us consider existing in the 51st location. ERIC location, ERIC record, and DICK record is existing in the case of 19th location. So like this. Total. Next, inode 26, it refers to the concept of user. This AST is existing in which location means 406th location. Next is user AST directory. Again this 26th location will be, again it will be converted into what the concepts. 26 again 64 grants, books, mbox, minix, src. So like this, each and every directory, 6 refers to the concept of user existing in 132. Here in the case of 132, these are the users. Next, I am considering only one AST user with the 26 as a directory number. This 26 directory AST is existing in which location? 406 location. Again this 406 will be converted into in these different types of files, in these different types of records it consists of. So like this, that's an internal path. First root directory consists of these many records. I am considering 6th. Within the 6th location, again I am going to 26th location. Again within the 26th location, I am considering for one more concept, one more concept, one more concept. Like this in-depth concept, level by level, level by level. So this one is a complete concept of file system representation in the case of Unix OS. First one, second one, third one. 3 different types of file system representations are there in the case of Unix version 7. Okay. This one is the complete concept of your file system and memory management units. Okay, and these two are the concepts we have covered in the case of this 2 hours of session. By the next session, we will come across with the new 2 topics. Okay, and this one is I want to conclude with these 2 topics. I want to conclude this session. Okay, thank you very much for your patient listening. Okay, thank you very much.